Alright, what's going on? How you guys doing? Welcome back. It's Saturday, it's Urban Legends. Hopefully everybody's having an awesome night. Yo, Kill Switch, Fire Devil, what's going on, guys? Just what you needed. Well, you know what? I got a couple of stories that I think you're gonna love, alright? Maybe you will, maybe you won't. Who knows? But we're gonna find out. Anybody new to the stream, I do this on Mixer and Twitch. I do a dual stream here. Yay me. And after the stream, I always try and post them on YouTube, so if you do miss it, make sure you pop in, check it out. Anybody on YouTube watching this for the first time, come join us live on Saturday, 6 p.m. Twitch and Mixer. So, and I hope you guys are having a great weekend. Alright. Let's, you know what? Let's just jump into it. Let's get our first stories here, okay? I always get a kick out of finding these because they crack me up so much. And the reason why it's like myths, urban legends, because it's half of this can't be true. I'm only giving you the parts that I think are funny and interesting. Some of these stories, they do have so much more to them. So definitely the links and stuff that I tell you guys about, pop in, check these stories out, dig in a little deeper, because some of them, there's so much more to them. With that being said, this very first one, it's a ghost story, alright? I don't know, like, I've had my own personal ghost experience when I was little, and it was terrifying. I know a lot of you guys probably had your own ghost stories, ghost experiences. If so, leave me a message in Discord. Tell me about it. Maybe I'll pop it up and do one of the stories. Alright? But this is one of those that it takes the cake. This is from the JamaicanStar.com. And it was definitely written in Jamaican. So kind of reworded it a little bit, since I'm not an islander. I wouldn't do it any justice reading it how it was written. That's all I'm gonna say. All right. Are there schlongs tonight? You know what? I hate saying this, but have I actually had a week where I haven't talked about a schlong? Jesus Christ! Look, you kill switch with all the embers. You are the man. Look at that. Love it, man. Thank you. So, right now, like I said, this is coming hot out of Jamaica. And some more. Look, you guys are just treating me too good right now. All right. So, this is a ghost story. It has to do with I don't want to call it necessarily infidelity, because they weren't married, but they were, you know what I mean, they're dating, living together. So, this guy and his buddy, there's always a buddy, there's a wingman in this story. So, this guy was on the hunt with his friend, and what they do is they go for their walks, and they hit on women. So, him and his friend, actually, they pick up two chicks. He goes back to the girl's house. They end up bumping uglies. And in the morning, he's going back to his girl's place where he resides. And this is where his story kind of gets interesting. Because as he passes by the gate, he happens to see somebody in white. He at first thought it was his buddy. So he goes ahead and he turns the light on him and kind of pans it towards him. And he starts to walk towards him because, hey, it's his buddy. Why the hell wouldn't he? They're probably going to do like a Top Gun high five after their sweet night of sexing. So as he got closer, the about shit himself because he didn't see a head on the thing. And this is when he realized it was a ghost that had come to get him. Like, he's scared shitless. There's a goddamn headless ghost. And this gentleman, last name Hunt, he was a resident of Chesterfield, St. Mary. And he said while growing up, he was always told that if he spots a ghost, he should curse it so goddamn hard that it'll just go away. So that's what he did. He started swearing up and down at it, throwing like curse words, you name it. He got so mad, and he started saying things like, "I rebuke you in the name of God. Depart from me, you dead." After he shouted a shit ton of things, the spirit just turned off and left. Like, apparently it had enough. It didn't have no goddamn head with ears, but apparently it hurt him. See, and Hunt says he was bad, and he was bad because he cheated on his woman. That's why he thought this ghost was there to get him. And this ghost was surely going to kill him. And if his girl would have never gave him that flashlight that night, that ghost would have surely killed him. So now, every time he does go for a walk, he makes sure he has his light. And fearing for his life and feeling the guilt about what he did, getting it on with another woman, he quickly journeyed home and he confessed his sins to his woman. And I'm gonna take a break here for a sec. I'm gonna let you guys kind of guess what his woman had to say to him, because he was gonna die by a ghost. All right, this woman, that's the love of his life. This man was gonna straight die, but he confessed, like, "Woman, I was cheating on you. This ghost knew it. It was gonna kill me because of it." And her response was the typical response you would expect, because unfortunately the sympathy that he was seeking from her, it didn't come to be. And she went on to say, "It should have killed you." I don't think she was a bit sour or unhappy there one bit. She regrets giving him the flashlight. Yeah. Probably should have given him a flashlight or something. Need to do a story on Gordy. Send me the info about it and I'll definitely look into it. So, that's a story from Jamaica. Guy almost died cheating on his girl because a ghost was going to get its revenge. Apparently it doesn't like infidelity, and his woman thinks the ghost should have just killed him. I mean, the guy ain't cheated since, I'm sure. And he carries a flashlight everywhere. It'd be more awesome if it was like one of those old school glowworms. I know you guys remember those. If it was one of those, god damn, that'd be so cool. But that's a story of a guy who spotted a headless ghost, out of all things. Alright? So, this, I'm going to tell you guys, this is going to be my pick for my honorary Florida man for the week. So, honorary Florida man is just a Florida man that doesn't live in Florida. And maybe he does, hell. Maybe he moved out. But that's where my next story is going to come into play. See, this one has to do with an axe. And it's not the Lizzie Borden picked up an axe and gave people a bunch of whacks and whatever. However it goes. I believe that's in Iowa. Yeah, go us. Alright, so this from knoe.com. Kano. I'm sure that's how it's pronounced. See, the parish sheriff's office, they said they responded to the home of on Lynette Drive in West Monroe. See, they received a call that a certain man had been attacked with an axe. You know what? I used to be a first responder, and I can only imagine the horrific scene they may have went into if the guy was attacked with an axe. This man claimed that someone had stabbed him square in the head with the bladed weapon. That can't be good. That's actually going to be nasty and probably leave a mark. Hopefully chicks dig scars. But you see, when deputies arrived, they found that the caller, Michael Ottenbury, they found him at his front door cursing at a shit ton of people. The problem was, these people weren't there. There was nobody there. He was just cussing at something. And deputies say the man was not calm. And he was cussing at them too. So they went ahead and they placed him in handcuffs for their safety, which I can understand. And upon looking at Ottenbury, they looked him over and they said that there was absolutely no indication that this man had been hit in the head with an axe. See, according to the arrest records, Ottenbury also told deputies that the intruders were inside his home. So, being the heroes they are, they went inside. They're going to catch them. But they couldn't find a damn soul. But what they did find was a small bag of meth. It was in plain view on a nightstand. They say they also found a small little bag, a little gram of meth on Ottenberry. See, when asked about the meth, deputies say Ottenberry told them that the intruders are, that was a ghost. A ghost planted the meth. Ottenberry has been charged with giving false information and possession of a controlled dangerous substance. You gotta be careful of those ghosts. You hate when that happens, Fire Devil? Man, I can only, like I said, man, if I could sit down and tap into your head about some of the stories you have, like, that would be amazing. Because I can only imagine some of the things you have. But you gotta be careful of them ghosts. Them ghosts will plant meth. That's why you gotta be extra wary of them. Alright? That's West Monroe. They got the ghosts. It's not a good thing. So, some of this stuff, it's out there. These people are out there. It's out there. My very next story, this one has so much more information, and I do recommend you guys look this story up because it's interesting. This is a picture, and this is a story that I found on historicuk.com. Alright? I'm going to tell you about this little island, this cute little lighthouse. Because who doesn't like lighthouses? They've never been in a scary story, right? So this one starts on the 26th December 1900. There was a small ship that was making its way to the Flannan Islands in a remote outer Hebrides. Its destination was the lighthouse Elian Moor, a remote island which, apart from the people that work there, completely goddamn empty. So, although it was empty, the island has always had people's interests. It was named after Saint Flannan. I am sure I said that wrong. A 6th century Irish bishop who later became a saint. So, I'm assuming saint like a football player. I never really went to church, so he's a football player, saint. He built a chapel on the island, and for centuries, shepherds used to bring over sheep to the island to graze, but they would never stay the night. See, they were fearful of the spirits that were believed to haunt this remote spot. Captain James Harvey, he was in charge of ship which was also carrying Joseph Moore. He was a replacement lighthouse keeper, and as the ship reached the landing platform, Captain Harvey was surprised not to see anybody waiting for them to kind of greet them for their arrival. He went ahead and he blew his horn, and he sent up a warning flare to attract attention. There was absolutely no response. Joseph Moore then rowed ashore, and he went ahead and climbed up the steep set of stairs. They led all the way up to the lighthouse, and according to reports from Moore himself, the replacement lighthouse keeper suffered an overwhelming sense of foreboding on his long walk up to the top of the cliff. Yo, Honda, what up, buddy? See, once at the lighthouse, Moore noticed something was immediately wrong. The door to the lighthouse was unlocked, and in the entrance hall, 2 of the 3 oilskinned coats were missing. There was only 1 coat left hanging for the 3 people that were supposed to be there. Moore continued onto the kitchen area where he found half-eaten food and an overturned chair. Almost as if someone hopped up out of the goddamn chair real quick and just took off in a hurry. And to add to this particular scene, the kitchen clock just had stopped. Who's to say it ever worked? I don't know. But apparently it stopped. I don't think it was really working. They probably changed the batteries. Neither here nor there. So Moore continued to search the rest of the lighthouse, but he found absolutely no sign of the lighthouse keepers. He ran back to the ship to inform the captain. The captain subsequently ordered a search of the island for the missing men. No one was found. A few days later, a gentleman named Robert, the board superintendent, who both recruited and knew all 3 men personally, departed for the island to investigate the disappearance. His investigations of the lighthouse found nothing over and above what Moore had already reported. That is, except for the log. Moorhead immediately noticed that the last few days and entries were unusual. On the 12th of December, Thomas Marshall, the second assistant, he wrote of severe winds, the likes of which he had never seen before in his 20 years. He also noticed that James Ducat, the principal keeper, had been very quiet and that the third assistant, William MacArthur, had been crying. And what's strange about this is MacArthur was known as a tough brawler. What would he be crying about? The storm? See, log entries on the 13th of December stated that the storm was still raging and that all three men had been praying. But why would three experienced lighthouse keepers safely situated on a brand new lighthouse that was 150 foot above sea level be praying for? Why would they be praying for this storm to stop? They should have been perfectly safe. And Pro Rays, what up? What up, Honda? So, like I said, it's 150 feet above sea level. They're on an island, should be completely 100% safe. Even more peculiar is that there were no reported storms in the area on the 12th, 13th, and 14th of December. In fact, the weather was calm, and the storms that were to batter the islands didn't hit until December 17th. The final log entry was made on the 15th. It simply read, "Storm ended. Sea calm, God is over all." What was meant by God is over all, nobody knows. But after reading the logs, Moorhead's attention turned to the remaining oilskinned coat that had been left in the entrance hall. Why in the bitter cold winter had one of the lighthouse keepers ventured out without his coat? Furthermore, why had all three lighthouse staff left their post at the same time when the rules and regulations strictly prohibited it? Further clues were found down by the landing platform. Here Moorhead noticed ropes strewn all over the rocks, ropes which were usually held in a brown crate 70 feet above the platform on the supply crane. Perhaps the crate had been dislodged and knocked down and the lighthouse keepers were attempting to retrieve it, and an unexpected wave came and washed them out to sea. This was the first and most likely theory, and as such, Moorhead included it in his official report to the Northern Lighthouse Board. But this explanation left some people in the Lighthouse Board unconvinced. For one, why had none of the bodies washed ashore? Why had one of the men left the lighthouse without taking his coat, especially since it was December? Why had three experienced lighthouse keepers been taken unaware by a wave? Although these were all good questions, the most pertinent and persistent question was around the weather conditions at the time. The seas should have been calm. They were sure that they were, because they could see the lighthouse from land. And nobody from land ever once said there was a storm. Nobody mentioned bad weather, that nothing obscured their view. And over the following decades, subsequent lighthouse keepers at Elon Moore, they have reported strange voices in the wind, calling out the names of the three men who died. Theories about their disappearance have ranged from foreign invaders capturing the men all the way through to alien abductions. Whatever the reason for their disappearance, something or someone snatched them. And 100 years later, nobody has a clue. So if you guys have your, guesses, throw them in chat. Throw them in Discord. I'd like to hear them. But there's so much more to this story. So definitely look into it. Check it out. That one of the missing lighthouse keepers that just vanished. Disappeared. Was there a wave? Did something come over the island? Who knows? And for Honda, man, I can tell you, I am 100% tired. I fell asleep on the couch last night, and by last night I mean in the evening. So I woke up super early, like just way early. But yeah, hopefully you guys are all doing good. Everyone's having a absolute blast. Definitely check out that story. The very next one, this is a story I don't even know how to I don't even know how to do an introduction to this story. It is so outrageous that it just screams early 1900s. This is reported on a bunch of different sites. The one I went with, because they're all the same, it's out of a news clipping. The one I pulled was from weirduniverse.net. So, this was a 1907 special of the Washington Post article. And I'm going to tell you guys, the 1900s, like early single-digit 1900s, they just weren't friendly to no one. So, since tonight we're talking about ghosts, infidelity, I'm going to kind of keep that little thing going. And Fire Devil, man, you should be surprised. I haven't talked about any kind of phalluses or anything yet today. So, should be good. Yo, Bonkers, man, how you doing? So, I'm going to tell you this 1907. Oh, you're waiting for it. Dude, this next story, oh man, I'll pray every night that I hope you get a call like this. Alright, this was in New York. Alright, May 23rd, 1907. Good old gentleman named Joseph. This guy was 48 years young. He was small in structure and meek in appearance. He held before the magistrate Finn in Yorkville Court this morning on a warrant obtained by his wife Catherine, who charged Joseph with abandoning her children, or their 2 children, and herself. He'd been gone for about a month. Their home is 340 East 48th Street, New York. This was over 120 years ago, so I doubt they still live there. See, when the magistrate asked the gentleman why he had left and what he had to say for himself, Joseph held up a crooked little finger, pointed it to his eye that was all out of order, and he said, "She did that." So he had a crooked little lazy eye, and he's like, "She did that." God, that poor bastard. Alright? And he exclaimed through an interpreter, and as such, she makes him sleep under the bed and feeds him cold victuals. So he gets cold food, they make his ass sleep under the bed. Like, that doesn't sound like a happy marriage. So, besides that, apparently, she's jealous. And when she sees him as much as speak to another woman, she beats the crap out of him. So, I'm starting to understand why he left. Okay? He's got a crooked lazy eye now because of her. She beats him when he talks to women, makes him sleep under the bed. If she does feed him, it's cold, cold dinner. So, I mean, alright. Alright. I'm starting to see why he pieced out. And he says, "How is this?" demanded Magistrate Finn of Catherine. He's asking her, like, "Do you beat your husband?" And her being an honest woman, "Yeah, sometimes," the woman replied. "Well, how often?" persisted the magistrate. "Whenever he needs it. Sometimes only 2 or 3 times a month. Sometimes every day. When he's good, I don't beat him." "Well, why do you make him sleep under the bed?" The woman was unable to answer this question for the fit of laughter that fell into her. She just started rolling laughing. God. See, she finally subsided, however, and then the magistrate asked Joseph if he was willing to go home with Catherine. Joseph, he didn't think he was. And I don't blame him. He wasn't ready at all, alright? And they go on to say, "Well, I guess there is no use trying to reconcile you two," said the magistrate. "Are you willing to pay your wife $6 a week, Joseph?" Joseph said he was. Then the magistrate wanted to know of Catherine if she would take her husband's word for the payment. "I will not," replied Catherine promptly. "Then I'll have to send him to jail," warned the magistrate. This made Catherine ponder a bit. Finally, she said she would take Joseph home whether he wanted to go or not, and give him another trial. "Well, all right," said the magistrate. So Catherine motioned imperiously to Joseph and started for the door, poor Joseph in tow behind her. That poor bastard. And the judge they handed him over. According to this news clipping, they just handed his ass over to his abusive wife. So I definitely am feeling bad for that guy. Alright, that was in 1907 though. I sound just like the person from Entitled Parents. Nah, I sound like me. A friend dated someone like that in college. Oh my god, hopefully they got away from that. And that poor dude, 100% right, that poor guy. Getting beat by his old lady. Like, oh no. Makes him sleep under the bed. Like, I wish she would have had an answer to that. I feel like there should have been such a good response. Okay? This, I can't get over that. Yo, got the care package. I know, that poor dude. Alright, this next story, like, I personally have never experienced any of this, and I hope I never do. If some of you guys do, I find it fascinating. Send me a message in Discord or comments on YouTube once I post this. But, this next one, oh my god, dude, this is just absolutely creepy. Alright? I think this stuff's creepy. So, this one I found on TexasHillCountry.com. And as you can guess by the picture, man, we're gonna talk a little bit about the black-eyed kids. I don't know if you believe in them or not, but it's definitely one of the things that creeps me out. So, off this article, and it states, every Halloween, Texans get ready for trick-or-treaters by stocking up on candy, setting out pumpkins, touching up the Halloween decorations. But if you've heard the stories of one terrifying folk phenomenon, the funk phenomenon, you might be wary of certain trick-or-treaters, the black-eyed kids. I'm telling you, man, you believe in them too there, bonkers, man? I am telling you. What's my Discord? There should be a link right there. Absolutely, Fire Devil got you taken care of. See, there are dozens of stories circulating, each of them separate instances, and not just occurring on Halloween, but all of them follow a very similar pattern. And I bet you guys can guess what the pattern is. It's kids with completely blacked out eyes that arrive at someone's home or vehicle. They knock on the door and insist upon being let inside. Anyone who encounters them almost immediately begins to feel an overwhelming sense of dread. I'd feel a fucking sense of dread. No. Besides black-out eyes, these children, usually between the ages of 6 and 16, typically appear normal. No, they don't. Sometimes their clothing is outdated. And in extremely unusual instances, people have reported talon-like feet. It's the first time I've ever heard that. But I have heard the outdated clothes before. Ronnie Jambo actually, he has a thing where he potentially thinks he may have encountered black-eyed kids because like the outdated clothes look like they're from the 90s, and just it was off. He was telling me about it, and the whole story sounded off. But talons, I've never heard that. That sounds like a Napoleon Dynamite thing. So, while this may not be the earliest sighting of all time, the earliest reported sighting was in 1996 by Brian Bethel. He was a journalist from Abilene, Texas. And in Bethel's report, he describes a late evening out in his vehicle. He had stopped in a parking lot near a movie theater to write a check. He was so absorbed in this that he didn't notice the two young boys approach his car. He didn't notice until the older boy started tapping on the driver's side window. Bethel rolled down his window and noted immediately a soul-racking fear, though he couldn't understand why. The older boy said that he and his brother wanted to catch a movie, but had forgotten their money at home. Could Bethel give him a ride, they asked. They assured him that it wouldn't take very long. They're just two kids, and they didn't have a gun. Bethel found the assurances a little unnerving. I would too, when they have to point out that they don't have a gun. I would find that a little bit unnerving. And they noted that the last showing of the film they wanted to see had already started and would be nearly over by the time he could drive them anywhere and get back. In his recount of the incident, he stated that when he broke eye contact with them, his fear became all-encompassing. And it wasn't until he broke eye contact that their eyes became completely blacked out. The older boy began to get frustrated when Bethel made excuses for not giving them a ride home and said that they couldn't get in the car unless he said it was okay. After that, Bethel tore ass out of the parking lot, and to this day, he is 100% standing by his story. And that goes kind of toe-to-toe with what I think I've ever read about the Black-Eyed Kids encounter. They ask for permission to come in. You don't let them in, they get pissed off. But they wear outdated clothing. And you remember hearing this story. Really? Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, Bruce. Yeah, don't worry. We're not going to murder you or anything. Like, who says that? That is like the most outrageous thing ever. But yeah, Black-Eyed Kids, Men in Black, all that stuff, I'm on the fence. You know what? I don't want to ever have to experience it to not believe it. So, we're just going to say stranger things have happened. Stranger occurrences. Like, that's, it's one of them things. So hopefully you guys are enjoying my Urban Legend series. This is kind of what I do every Saturday. It doesn't take long. I usually do they've been going about 45 minutes. Definitely like the interaction. Twitch is able to talk to Mixer and chat, vice versa. You see a white dress popping up in the corner of your eye, I would say run. Just run out of there. If you got scary things like that. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Like a big old hell, nope. Alright, so here's a story. This next story. This is the one Fire Devil has been kind of waiting on. Okay? You wanted to hear the story, Fire Devil, man? So I'm gonna give it to you, because let's get it. Alright, man, because, you know, you're waiting so patiently. So patiently. This right here was the mirror.co.uk reported on this. And this man has not been named. Okay? So, you ask me, I don't know. I'm not going to be able to tell you. This poor bastard has not been named. I'm just going to go on to call him Poor Bastard. But I don't know if you should feel bad for him. I'm gonna say that. You should, but you shouldn't. So, this man, he was found lying unconscious inside a flat by emergency crews in Headington, Scotland. So, emergency crews found this guy. Well, that's definitely some peanut butter. So, what happened is, neighbors reported hearing the old English bulldog that he had. And they remember hearing it bark. And the best part about this bulldog was its name. Its name was Biggie Smalls. So, you got a bulldog named Biggie Smalls. I mean, how fantastic is that? So, they heard the poor dog was barking. And it's about 4 a.m. and again 8 a.m. October 7th. Police were called at about 2:30 p.m. where they found blood spattered, just a blood spattered, like, just scene. It was, first responder, man, I can't imagine what they walked into. Blood everywhere. See, a police source told the Times the man had applied the peanut butter or another food spread to his crotch region in the moments before he was attacked by the dog. The victim was rushed to the Royal Infirmary. His genitals, they couldn't be reattached. All the king's horses and all the king's men, they couldn't attach his junk after this mauling by the dog called Biggie Smalls. So rumors definitely swirled around town that the injured man had been held down during the attack. However, this was not true. But they do believe that he wasn't alone. And, yeah. You guys are probably guessing what happened with this story. He decided to rub a little bit of peanut butter on his fun tug time. And his bulldog chomped it off. Because, bulldogs, they're definitely known for not having a massive bite. So the poor dog was covered in blood. He was taken to the kennels, and a friend of the owner described this dog as an absolute angel. But because of the attack and the severity of it, they had to put the dog down. That's a shame. The dude tried having sexy fun time with peanut butter and a dog, and they had to put the dog down. I don't condone none of that. Poor dog. Yeah, it's definitely messed up, Fire Devil. So there's your story, man. You were wondering if we were going to talk about some kind of weenuses. There you have it, man. We were able to get a story in there for you. So I hope you guys have had a blast. I hope you guys have enjoyed my Urban Legends series. It's 6 p.m. every Saturday. They're not very long, which is kind of nice because we all have things we like to do on Saturdays. But they're short enough to where if I ever go out of town or camping on an adventure, I can still get on my phone and do stories. So, like I said, yeah, pre-nut and jelly. Hell no, dude. Dude, no, you went there. Oh my god, that poor dog. Hopefully, Fire Devil, you never have to go and get a call like that. I pray nobody ever has to go to a call like that. Poor Biggie Smalls. If you guys have stories that you'd love to see me do on stream, definitely let me know in Discord. It'd be great to see what you guys have, see what you guys come up with. I am always open for suggestions. So, that being said, I hope you guys have an absolute phenomenal Saturday. Don't forget to pop over to Twitch or Mixer, slam the follow buttons, pop over to my YouTube channel, do the things, all the things that you need to do. Check out some of the other videos. Constructive criticism is words hard. Constructive criticism is always appreciated. If I'm not doing something you guys enjoy, let me know. I'm always trying to improve this. Minimal editing, so that way I make mistakes, they happen. But we're always trying to improve them. You have one good one. Alright, let's get in there. I want to hear it. Yeah, bonkers, man. I do these. They're short. I definitely pop in on Saturdays, check them out. I got a lot of cool things coming this summer. But absolutely appreciate all you guys that came in. I'm going to toss host right now to Miss Voorhees. I've known her ever since I started streaming a number of years ago. Really good person. So pop in, say hi to her, and you guys take care.